The war in Ukraine has transformed geopolitics, uniting the West against Russia and reigniting talk of a new Cold War. Last year, the West quickly closed ranks as Russian forces encroached on the borders of NATO member states, disrupting the peace Europe has had since the end of the civil war in the former Yugoslavia. Even Germany, which since the end of the Second World War has disavowed the use of military force, is now in the midst of a massive arms buildup, and it's supporting the Ukrainian war effort, though with some heavy reservations. Altogether, Western countries led by the United States have pledged over $50 billion in military assistance to Ukraine. They've also made Russia the world's most sanctioned country. Now, few countries have endorsed Moscow's aggression, but Russia is not as isolated as initially thought. It benefits from a robust network of partners, allies, and fellow travelers, including Belarus and Iran, and the world's two most populous countries, China and India, who, incidentally, are rivals of one another. Russia's allies have and will continue to help shield it from potential punitive action at the United Nations, and they've also helped to dilute the impact of Western economic sanctions. Since the invasion, China and India have dramatically increased imports of discounted Russian oil, providing Moscow with a record current account surplus in 2022. Iran has provided Russia with vital arms, including the Shahed kamikaze drones, which are used to swarm Ukraine's air defenses. And many countries in what's called the Global South continue to maintain military and strategic ties with Russia. Last month, Russia and China held joint naval exercises with South Africa in the Indian Ocean, signaling Moscow's continued influence in both continental Africa and its maritime periphery. What we're now seeing is a stark divergence between East and West and the Global North and the Global South on the issue of the Ukraine war. Last year, the Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar proclaimed Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems. And that is precisely the messaging many developing countries are trying to convey. Western countries have been quick to mobilize support for a state they see as one of their own. But over the past few years, the developing world has been hit hard by successive waves of externally inflicted wounds. The COVID pandemic, sky-high inflation triggered by supply shortages and a strong US dollar, climate change, and the Russia-Ukraine war, which triggered wheat and fuel shortages and sent prices of basic goods through the roof. Aid and relief for countries like Pakistan and Somalia hit by natural disasters have fallen short of required amounts, with funds being cannibalized by the efforts to support Ukraine. Whenever the war ends, reconstruction costs in Ukraine could exceed $1 trillion. That's a lot of money not going toward helping countries in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The Ukrainians are fighting for their own freedom, and that is indeed their right. But poor countries face equally existential choices when it comes to feeding their populations, fueling their homes and industries, and developing their economies. In all likelihood, the Russia-Ukraine war will go on for years. Western publics remain committed to supporting the Ukrainians, though that may soon change. As for the rest of the world, they're already trying to move on.